All right. So I figured I'll go live for to wrap out the year with more or less podcast. So I'm bringing it to you guys live tonight. Figured I'll do something different. Because if you do the same thing over and over again, it's called insanity if you don't get no results. So I figured I'll switch it up this time around here. I'm not sure why this is not doing what it needs to do. There we go. All right. So today's episode uh, for the More or Less podcast is titled Finish Strong to Start Strong. Okay. December discipline that will decide your destiny. So I'm going to break down to you guys some mindset things that we need to have going into the new year. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody everywhere. If you can hear me loud and clear and you're feeling the if you're in the chat, just go ahead and show just put D1 for December 1st because we about to go D1 for this month, okay? So for the month of December, I want this again to be your mindset. Finish strong to start strong, positioning yourself by what you do this month to start your year off properly. A lot of times we say start strong, finish strong, but in this case, we're going to finish strong to start strong. And this isn't one of those like new year, new me kind of mantras. It's kind of the opposite. It's more about right now prepare me, like a new year to prepare for. So it's not about shifting things, but it's about preparing yourself to shift, if that makes sense. Really digging deep into today's message on my episode here, I want you guys to have this in mind, right? How you move this month will set the tone for the majority of next month. Now, don't hold me all the way to that because you can shift your thinking in February. You can shift your thinking in June. You can shift your thinking at any point in time. But right now, we're in this current moment. And so I want to encourage you guys that in this moment, how you decide to move, and the reason why right now is so important is because you're setting goals for next year. You've been asking God all year for some things, and those things have not happened yet. And so you have to decide right now, okay, do I want to try it again next year or do I want to get things going now to get where I want to be for next year? So like I'm just in a meeting earlier and I was working on some things with my team and we were like, let's discuss these things and set these things up and maybe get ready for next week's meeting to move forward with some things. And we were like basically like why not now? Getting taking care of some things that we can take care of now can set the tone for what we can do and add in the coming weeks. And so now that we got those things checked off, we can actually move further than we expected this month because we decided to take care of business right here, right now, today. And so just imagine, because I've been talking about the last few weeks about being mindful over your money during the holidays. A lot of times we want to buy out everything. We want to appease everyone to say, "Look what I can do," this time of year, and it causes a stress. You end up splurging all your last little bit and struggle. You maybe skip some bills in order to be able to provide for your family. Just I'm just being honest. A lot of people who are struggling this time of the year, the aftermath of government layoffs, job layoffs, and people switching jobs. It's been crazy. The economy has been real crazy. Food prices going up. I can only imagine what you all are feeling and going through, because when you're prepared, like one thing that I've been practicing when I'm preaching, prepare myself for what if something were to happen? What if my money would change? What if I wasn't being blessed like I was now? Now, with all the craziness that's happening in the world, I'm good and I'm grateful for where God's put me, right? But not everyone has that blessing. Not everyone has that story. So I want to put these seeds into your mind that they can grow and prosper expeditiously and abundantly. I had a friend of mine say expeditiously was coined by Ti, and shout out to get his permission to use that. So of course we're gonna jump right into it. I've been long-winded with my intro, but think about this: your December strategy will actually have supernatural breakthrough for January. Your December strategy can produce supernatural breakthrough for January. Let's jump right into scripture with Ecclesiastes 7 and 8 that says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof." The way you end a season determines the blessing on the next season. You can't start strong if you finish week. So God's going to look at how you're moving right now in this season, what you decided to learn, what lessons that you actually learned and move forward with, and what you're going to do with that now that you understand it. I made a post the other day because I heard someone drop this amazing gem. He said, when abundance is coming, you have to prepare yourself and control yourself. He said, imagine a cup. Imagine a cup that's being full, right? If you have a cup filled to the brim and you don't want to spill a drop, you're going to be extra careful. You're going to be extra cautious to not spill one drop. You're going to move slow. You're going to move controlled. You're going to be very, attentive to what's happening with that cup, right? And that's the same thing with abundance and overflow. When God gives you abundantly, you got to be very strategic and careful and controlled with what God is doing for you in that time. Okay? Because you don't want to spill or miss or pour out what doesn't need to be poured out, right? You want to pour out what doesn't need to be poured until it's ready to be poured out, until it's ready to be consumed. You want to make sure that you're positioned properly so you don't waste the abundance that God is going to bless you with. But if you prepare yourself right now, you can set the tone for the new year when God brings that abundance. But you have to be ready because sometimes we pray, ask God, and when it's right in front of us, we self sabotage. We talk ourselves out of it. We doubt that is even God when we asked for it and prayed for it because the enemy is whispering in our ears. Our flesh is rising up, and we don't want to accept the goodness of God that God has before us. So, right now, as you're preparing for the new year, you have to shift your way of thinking. You have to shift your prayer life. For example, I did something a little different. I've been posting more, I've been striving to be more consistent. Now that I've been consistent, I've been stepping it up. Instead of recording, I'm just going off the cuff and doing it live, seeing what different results I can because God is now putting me in this position to do that. Proverbs 24 and 27. You know what? One thing I can give you guys, I'm going to do a sidebar here right now. With today being December 1st and there's 31 days in December, read a proverb a day for the rest of the year. I'm going to challenge myself to do that. I might not post about it. I might drop some wisdom here and there. But just one of my personal goals I'm going to do to wrap out the year on top of everything I'm doing, everything I'm teaching, is a proverb a day. Not just I'm like a chapter. There's 31 proverbs. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs, right? 31 days in December. Starting tonight, if you're watching this, share this challenge with somebody. Get a prayer partner, get a buddy. Proverbs a day. Read Proverbs 1 today, Proverbs 2 tomorrow, and set that tone. Build that godly wisdom as you prepare to go into the new year. Okay? But Proverbs 24 and 27 says, prepare thy work without, and make it fit to thyself in the field, and afterwards build thy house. So the main thing to take away from this is preparation creates elevation. Your January breakthrough is tied to your December discipline. Forget everything that happened or did not happen this year. A lot can change in 30 days. A lot can change in 30 days. A lot can change in a week. A lot can change in a day. A lot can change in 3 days. Look what Jesus did in 3 days. I know Jesus, that's a great example, but imagine what can change in your life in 3 days, in 1 week, in 1 month of consistency. Did you know that it takes 21 days to establish a new habit or break a habit? So working out like working out for me is a lifestyle now because I decided to get up early and work out consistently. And now when if I sleep in, my body just reacts. It wakes up on its own without even the alarm clock to say, get up, get moving. This is what I want. My body is saying, hey, this is how we're moving now. So for you, whatever it is God is putting on you, stay consistent with that. And before you know it, it's going to be your lifestyle. Your consistency will turn into your lifestyle. So imagine, what can I do now and be consistent in that thing so when January hits, it is my lifestyle? What lifestyle change do I want to make that I can start right now in December? Changing your eating habits, changing your prayer life, praying 3 times a day, as soon as you wake up, during your lunch break, before you go to bed. The challenge, proverb a day, whatever it looks like to you. And if you're watching this, guys, please type in "I'm ready." Type in "I'm ready" in the chat just to show me that you guys are there and you're listening. Type in "I'm ready" in the chat wherever you're watching from. Type in "I'm ready for the new year" because we're speaking life. Even though we're putting things into motion for December, you're going to speak life. So say, I'm ready for the new year, even now on December 1st, okay? And I'm going to read another scripture for you guys. It says, Behold, I will do a new thing. Shall ye not know it? God can't bring new things into a life that's still cluttered with old habits, old things, old patterns, old spending cycles, right? With the Bible, even Jesus gave the example, the parable of when he can't you can't pour new wine into an old wine vase because it's gonna break and it's gonna burst. If you're becoming a new vessel, a new being, a new creation, you want people to look at you differently, you got to change that thing inwardly and outwardly. You got to change that thing inwardly and outwardly to get those different results. You can't have those old habits that got you nowhere in 2025 and expect God to give you that breakthrough and that overflow in 2026 if you're not willing to shift and change your mindset, how you view things, how you view your money, how you view your walk, how you view yourself. All those things have to change. They have to shift so you can be prepared to do what God has called you to do in the new year. Again, December is not a throwaway month. A lot of times we settle and we feel like, December, I'm gonna take a day off. No, take a day on every single day this month. But here's the thing: it's not about showing everybody. It's not about showing everybody what you're doing. It's about just being, just moving, just being with God. Okay. So as we go into the new month, December decisions determine your January direction. Okay. Your December discipline creates your confidence for January. Your December stewardship sets up for January stability. Okay. So I'm thinking about mindset, right? Because I'm a mindset coach. I love to talk about mindset. When your mindset shifts, I just read 10x for the third time. And I read the millionaire mindset. So that's why I'm kind of like hype off the mindset piece right now. But it's really about shifting your mindset and shifting the framework. Everything that's programmed in here, you have to shift that, right? What goals do you have right now? What goals do you have right now? Can you multiply that by two? Can you multiply that by 10? What can you shift in your goals and your pursuit of things right now? If you have a business, right, like myself, and you're calling 10 people a day, can you get up to 50? Can you get up to 100? Can you double down on what you're doing to get new results for the new year? Imagine the tone that you can set. People right now are settling. They're taking vacation. They're taking time off. They're going to spend time with their family, and that's great. But in between those times, in between that time that you're settling, that you're relaxing, that you're spending time with your family, do what God has called you to do. God gave me this word, and that's why I'm on fire right now. God gave me this word for me. This word was for me. He said, now or never. He said, your grace is running out. Okay. And if you know a little bit about me, yes, I'm a widower, and I shared my story on my podcast many a times, even spoken on several podcasts, speaking over the past couple of years about my story, about how God brought me through my grief, gave me a time of grace, and set me on tone on a path to get back to the ministry and the flow and the work that He's called me to do. But now He's like, hey, you've rested long enough. And what I mean by your grace is out is like He gonna give it to somebody else. He said, I called you to do this thing. I gave you enough time to rest. But if you don't do this thing right now, I'm going to give it to somebody else. That's what God was telling me. He said, your grace, your period of rest, is done, right? Do to give somebody else 20 years from now. Imagine what that would look like, you waiting again. And you have the means, the mindset, and the ability to do it right now. Why not do it? Why not do it? So if you're watching in the chat, y'all say, I'm going to do it. No, I'm doing it. Don't say I'm going to do it. Say I'm doing it. I want y'all in the chat right now. If you believe that God has called you to do something right now and getting you ready for the new year, type I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Make that declaration right now that we're not going to be the same in 2026. And so here are some things that I want to break down to end your year with. Five keys of alignment. Number one, your mentality. Audit your thoughts. Okay. And I had to write this down because I really wanted to make it clear. I didn't want to babble or be confusing. For your mentality, for December going into the new year, audit your thoughts. Anything that's caused you anxiety, watch out for those patterns. See what you're doing as far as your thinking pattern is concerned, right? Choose intentional thoughts. Be intentional. Like right now, I had set goals. And I had to watch while I was speaking over myself over my job. I was like, man, they gave us these goals and they're not truly attainable. But then I shifted my mindset to say they are attainable. And you know what? I'm even going to 10x my goals because people are doing it inside and outside of this industry. Whatever it is that you're doing for work, whatever it is that God has called you to do, people are doing it and they're 10x in it, 100x in it. You can 2x it before the year is out. For your spiritual growth and focus to wrap up the year, pray, fast, and listen. Right now, I'm doing intermittent fasting, and that's going to lead into a how whatever fast God leads me to at that appointed time. That's between me and God, and we're going to have that conversation. But for whatever God's giving you, fast, listen, and pray. Okay? December is a month for clarity. You want to break off everything, all the people, all the decisions. Say, hey, I was about to work with so and so on this project. Nah, that's not it. I was about to connect with this one. That's not it. You know, whatever God's called you to do. Financially, y'all. Financially, stop spending emotionally. Stop feeling anxious about the holidays because you need to have something under the tree. I knew what my December was going to be like, and maybe I manifested it or spoke it over myself, but I got my kids gifts early, and I used resources that I could use early to prepare my kids for right now, because I knew, I knew the way things was looking. I had to make sure. Let me do stuff now so I can make sure my kids and I have a great Christmas. And God prepared me. He said, "Prepare." And know what I did? I prepared. So work on building that savings, work on reducing that debt, work on creating those margins where you can actually start seeing more savings grow, your investments grow. You can put money towards yourself, right? I encourage you guys, if you have not done so already, if you have not bought things already, let your family know, hey, this is a year I'm taking off. I'm going to show love, I'm going to be present. But right now, and I guarantee you, everyone will understand. If you take a break, don't spend. If you don't got it, don't spend it. Even if you do got it, try not to spend it or spend it minimally. And this is coming from somebody that done filled up under my tree. I'm talking about, I done filled up my tree, y'all, because I did these things throughout the year because I want to prepare myself for the end of the year. So don't feel like I'm teaching y'all one thing and doing the opposite, okay? So the next is relationally, okay? Relationally, set boundaries. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Set boundaries. Forgive what's weighing you down, and release what God didn't assign. Y'all, I have to do a whole episode on this. My next episode, when I go live, is about forgiveness. There's things that haven't happened in your life. God hasn't blessed you. Things haven't poured out because of unforgiveness. In Matthew chapter 6, when he's talking about prayer, he's saying, if you have not forgiven that person, leave all your stuff on the altar and double back and ask for forgiveness. So if you're struggling and wondering why things aren't happening yet, check your heart. Check your heart. Check your heart. Okay? Check your heart and make sure that there's no stone unturned. You might not think that person is worthy of forgiveness, but were you worthy of forgiveness when God saved you from your sin? No. God died, Jesus died on the cross for us, whether we was going to choose him or not. A man that lived perfectly and did no wrong. He died for the sinner, the rapist, the murderer, all those people that did wrong, that did you wrong. Jesus died for them. So if he can have that forgiveness and say, forgive them for they know not what they do, release that right now. So God can give you that abundance that you've been praying, waiting, and asking for. Okay, because that's part of the stuff that's still taking up space that you need to release in order for you to receive what God has for you. Release what God did not assign you. If God did not assign it to you, let it go. Let them go. Let that person go. Let that relationship go. Let that situation go. If you know God said no, let it go. Okay? Be purposeful. Write down your 2025 vision, what you saw for this year, and what you want to see for the next year. Okay? A lot can change. In these next 30 days, if you're intentional, you could do more in these last 31 days, or 30 days if you exclude today. These last 30 days, you can do more in this latter part of the year than you did all year long. Know why? Because it's going to be your seed of investment in yourself for the future. It's going to be a seed of investment for yourself for the future. Guys, as I wrap this up here, understand that your discipline for this year relies on what you decide to do now. I have a question for you, and I want you to answer this in the chat. Actually, you're going to answer. Your answer is going to be yes. I'm going to tell you what to put in the chat. The chat, your answer is going to be yes. So, my question is, will the you a year from now be thankful for the decision you made today? Will you in December of 2026 be grateful and thankful for what you decided to do and change about yourself this month? And if you believe that is a yes, go ahead and declare that in the chat. Put a yes. Let your future self know that you're on the way. Declare it now. Let your future self know that you're coming. That the person that God said that you're going to be, you are already them. That them doors that you see, that you saw prophesied to you, opened up, will open up. They're already open. That what God said He's going to do, He's going to do it. Okay? Take your time to change, shift, and fix anything from your past that you feel is holding you back. Release it unto God. Give it to God, let go, and let God. And finish 2025 strong. Because how you finish something can be the beginning to something greater. How you finish this year can set the tone for the greatness that God's going to do in your life next year. So if you believe in that, comment, yes, I'm ready. Comment, yes, I'm ready. And I believe with you. I'm praying for you. If you need a special prayer, go ahead and drop a comment below. Go ahead and reach out, message me, just say, hey, I saw you live. I'm listening to your podcast. And subscribe to the More or Less podcast because God's been pouring out. God's been pouring out blessing upon blessing. And I'm so grateful. And I'm thankful for y'all. And so, as I wrap up here, set the tone, be disciplined, and follow through.